Hi guys, this is video tutorial for NeutrinoParticles Editor, and in this tutorial we will make a Fireworks03 template from samples project, which you can find in templates Fireworks03. It is a bit more complex than Fireworks02. It is done with three emitters attached to each other like a chain of emitters. It can be done a little bit easier with two emitters, but in this tutorial I'll show you how to create pretty the same effect with the same settings. Okay, let's start from test project. Create new effect, call it Fireworks03, and we have default emitter here. So let's check our effect again. It has three emitters. First emitter is for most parent particles. That particles are not seen at all, so geometry is not generated. When this particle appears, right away attached emitter boom is started, and it emits like 20 particles. You can see them highlighted now. These particles are also by themselves only a head of such big tail of particles, and it has attached another one emitter of sparks. So sparks is the most visible particles on the screen, and we can disable boom particles, and you will not see any difference in this effect. But you can have different textures, for example, or different size of boom particles and sparks particles, if you need so. So let's try to make that. First of all, we need parent particles, which are created on something like point between paths. I have two paths, and starting position of particles are taken from area between these two paths, like a square, a rectangle. Now I don't need to move particles at all, none. A little less particles, like 1.5 per second. Yep. Then I need to disable geometry generation. In appearance properties I disable exportable and enable debug wireframe, so we can see where particles are created. Rename emitter to parent and add another one. I'll call it boom. Select the emitter, disable standalone, so it will not be played by itself, only when attached to parent emitter. In parent emitter, in emitter scheme and blocks palette, I add attached emitter block, and in its properties, it is selected now, in its properties I choose boom, connected emitter, boom. You can see boom is attached to parent, and now in preview we can see new behavior. So parent particle has life 2 seconds, and starting all those 2 seconds we have emitting of boom particles attached to the parent particle. We need to shoot only once, to shoot boom particles only once. So I go to other generators properties, fixed shots enabled, one shot, 20 particles. 15, and let's make size a little less, like 15 also, yeah, and add a little of gravity, change in position from steady motion to motion with forces, air resistance like 0.5, starting velocity 200, yep. Now we have boom emitter set up, and I'm going to create the last one, sparks. Disable it as standalone, attach it to boom emitter, boom particles, sparks. Oh my god. And let me remove change in position to none. Yep. And change generation from periodic to past distance. So when boom particle is past each 5 pixels for boom particle, we have generated a sparks particle. Let's have not 5 pixels but 15, maybe 15. Yep. Size 10. Starting position, let it be just from the center, and we need also change in position. Yeah, I turned it off, and we need motion with forces with really small starting velocity, like 10 maybe, and small gravity, also 10. Size I'll reduce to 8. And size of boom, let me just disable boom geometry and enable its debug wireframe. Distance for generation of sparks will reduce to 10. Yeah, something like that. A little less parent particles, 0.75. Starting speed for sparks a little bigger, like 15. hair resistance 0.5. Distance, generating distance 7, so it will be more particles generated. And yeah, it is something very similar that we see in Fireworks02, and it is a good base to move on and tune it and make a finalize that effect. I turned off boom geometry, but you can turn it on again and have, you can see that boom particles, they are bigger. You can make a texture for boom particle like a flare and sparks, some small sparks texture, or just disable boom and have only sparks, only sparks geometry generated. Okay, that's it. We've done. Thank you. Bye bye.